I went online to shadoosme.com and I found the latest and hottest shoe trends. What makes me a shadooser? I'm confident, classy, sexy, comfortable in my own skin. I'm a lover of shoes and style, and I have a sharp eye for design. shadoosme.com is delighted and dedicated in selling the trendiest and most fashionable must-have shoes and accessories. Get shadoosed now. Go to shoedoosme.com.
Trust Princeton Fuel in Arlington to help you avoid the Montreal Express this winter. Their professionals will attend to your every heating need, whether it's oil delivery, new heating systems, or maintenance and repair. Family owned and operated for over 25 years. Located at 46 Frost Street in Arlington. Call Princeton Fuel at 781-643-0058 now, and don't get left out in the cold.
Who's the Candy Man? Why, Brian Smiley, of course. Brian Smiley Candy Company. There you'll find aisles and aisles of every candy imaginable. Brian Smiley Candy Company is located at 35 Industrial Parkway in Woburn, Massachusetts. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30 p.m. or call them at 781-935-1660. Brian Smiley is the Candy Man.
Gone from this world.
All right, we are back talking NFL football. We're finishing up our picks for the week. Joining us live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Joe Huggy Bear Huggins and Cowboy Nate. In studio, Patrick Danger Davis. And we're all the way up to Monday night. Baltimore at New Orleans. Matt picks the Saints.
Ooh. You know, I'm going Saints, too.
You going Saints?
I'm going Saints.
I mean, I want to go Saints, but the Saints are just they've been so bad, like so bad. And then they just lost Brendan Cooks. I don't know. I got to go Baltimore on this.
Got to go Baltimore? Okay. Shoot, I don't even know.
I want to say the Saints are upset.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
I want to say the Saints are pissed off and upset, as you usually say, but then I think about it and I'm like, yeah, it's my team, but they're just not firing on all cylinders right now.
They're not.
So.
They're just not. They're hit and miss, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's anybody's game, but I'm going to have to take Baltimore, unfortunately.
Dang. Well, I'm going with the Saints. They're at home. They play better at home. Baltimore is good, but they're not the team they were when they won the Super Bowl, obviously. Well, this is pretty diverse picks there, guys. We're all over the place, except for a couple of games.
It's interesting at the end of the year, man.
I still got to get week one from you.
Who's leading for the season? That's what I'm curious.
Well, I haven't figured all that out yet because I'm kind of lazy like that. But that's just
You're good. I know how that is. You're fine.
I would have to say that we're all we're pretty close, all of us. I had a couple of bad weeks. Matt had a couple of bad weeks. We all had that one horrible week. What was it, week 2?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first couple weeks of the season weren't good for anybody.
And I don't have week 1. I got to get week 2 from you. It was just me and you, Nate. And let's see.
Oh, that's right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 8, and you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8 and 8? That was week 2. Where's our real bad week?
Then I joined week 3 or 4.
You joined week 4. 3. Week 3. Week 3.
Oh, very cool. I think it's one of those two.
So, according to my spreadsheet, and I still have to get with you, Nate, and get week 1 since I lost it.
Oh, yeah, I'll get that to you.
Just whenever before now and like the Super Bowl. You know.
Clearly, you're not in a rush. So
No, I'm not in a rush. Well, I tell you what, this has been an interesting NFL season. It's been an interesting college season. The first playoff, they say. I don't think it's a playoff. It's not. Anytime somebody with a pad and paper is deciding who wins on the field, it's not a playoff.
I know you want like 95 teams, or what is it? How many teams do you want?
No, just 32 teams. That's 4 weeks.
I know.
That's all.
ridiculous.
That's 4 weeks. That's December. We're not going to have any college football after next weekend till January, except for these piddly old bowl games where you're pitting 6 and 6 teams together, and there's, tens of people in the stands, and they're talking about, lose money. Well, who gives a crap about the Car Care Meineke frickin' Donut Bowl? Who cares about that?
You know, who cares? Marshall, because they ain't getting invited to the goddamn tournament. That's who cares about the Meineke Car Care Bowl.
Yeah, but no one's in the stands.
Who cares?
The Hawaii Bowl, the last 2 years, they haven't put 10,000 people in the stands. Where is that making money? Where's the money coming from? Who's making money off that? Nobody. So make the bowls mean something. Here's my idea. I got two ways we can do this. 32 teams, 4 extra games on a 10-game season, which puts you at 14 games, which still isn't anywhere near a pro schedule, and it isn't anywhere near a high school state-run schedule. If you play full through December, you can do it 2 ways. You can have the bowl games be the games you win to get to the national championship, so you would collect patches along the way. So say the first game you play is the Pineapple Bowl. Collect that patch, and then you're part of the 16. After the first week, you've got the Sweet 16. Then you play the Motor City Bowl, and you collect that patch. Now you're in the Elite 8. Then you get your bigger bowls, like your Cotton Bowl and Sugar Bowl and Fiesta Bowl and stuff like that. Maybe to the Final Four with those 2 bowls. And then by the time you play in the national championship, you have 4 patches on your uniform from the 4 bowls that you've won, and you get to play in the national championship. What's so hard about that?
I don't know if there's enough jersey space for that many patches.
Dude, I played in Europe. We look like NASCAR drivers over there. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. European football is weird.
The German National Football League, the teams are sponsored by corporations. They're not owned. So, we look like NASCAR drivers. About every inch of our uniform was covered by something. But would that be, or here's my other idea. Since the bowl games want to be exclusive, don't want to be watered down by all that stuff, how about you get into the bracket? If you lose, you and the other losing teams pair up and you go play a bowl game. That way you can say we made it 3 deep in the playoffs and we won the Outback Bowl. And that would be a successful season, right? Didn't make it to the national championship.
Well, here's my counter to that.
Sounds like NIT versus...
Why don't we try the first time to do a tournament once? Why don't we try and get the 14 thing right once? And then we have an argument from there.
Well,
the freaking 200 years to get a freaking playoff.
I know, but it's not really...
First year.
It's not really a playoff, though. That's my whole point. This isn't a playoff. The argument just got expanded to 2 more teams. That's all. So now you've got a bunch of writers and coaches and opinionators and computers and stuff matching up strength of schedule, which is totally someone's opinion because teams don't play other teams. They've got the SEC up on this pedestal, but how do you know? Because they don't play anybody from the Mountain West. They play crappy teams for their off-season games. They're little first 2 or 3 games, non-conference games. They go beat up on frickin' teacher schools, and then they go into their regular schedule, and if they win out, they're a great conference. I just ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't think a team should lose one game and not even be considered, where another team would lose two games and be in the running, based on opinion. Play it on the field. Get 32 teams. Obviously, all your conference champions would be in there. Do however you do it to get the rest of the 32 teams lined out by schedule or independence or whatever it is. Get them lined out and go at it.
So I understand you correctly. What you're saying is life isn't fair.
Exactly.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing here. Basically, the crux of your argument is life ain't fair.
Life ain't fair. You're damn right. Life ain't fair. And it's sad that we don't have a BYU conversation for national champion. If they were good enough, it's sad that we have a team like what was the year that Kansas State was undefeated up until the Big 12 championship, and they played Oklahoma, and Oklahoma went into the Big 12 championship and lost. But Kansas State had lost earlier in that season, so they had one loss. But they won the Big 12, but Oklahoma went to the national championship. I mean, where does that come from? You don't even win your conference.
They got smoked, too. That was like 38-7.
Yeah, then they go and get smoked.
Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
Darren Sproles in college. L. Roberson.
And all that was determined by opinion. None of it was determined on the field. And then there's silence. See? But I'm right? Everybody's
I was just going to say, all I'd say is that at least now that there's 4 teams, they have to have 2 more opinions. I don't know.
Exactly. That's all it is. Right now we have 2 undefeated teams. Is that correct? Let me go to ESPN here.
I believe so, yeah.
I think it's 2 undefeated teams. We got Florida State and Marshall. Marshall's not even ranked in the top 25, but they're undefeated in their Division I. Why aren't they in the mix? Why aren't they up there in the top 4 if they're undefeated? Why are all these 1-loss and 2-loss teams ahead of them? Because
but also you got to think like some of those 2-loss teams, and some of the games that they've won are against teams that were ranked in the top 10. I know that the rankings are skewed, and if you're going to just go strictly, there's too many teams to sit there and rank them all and have people just do it. The computers aren't going to get it right. But I mean, you can't tell me that like a 2-loss Clemson team, athletically on paper and everything, isn't going to be better than an undefeated Marshall team. Well, on any given Saturday, that Marshall team is going to lose.
Here's a perfect example.
I agree that Marshall should be in the top 25, but they couldn't be in the top 4 right now based off of who they have played. And like how many all the good teams that Mississippi State already beat before losing now.
But here's my argument. How do you know if they don't play each other? How do you know if the teams that Marshall played haven't played the teams that Mississippi State have played? How do you know? You don't. You don't know. All of this is opinion. All of this is opinion based upon how much another team has been exposed. Right now, at college football playoff rankings, number 1, Alabama, 1 loss. Number 2, Oregon, 1 loss. Florida State's ranked 3rd. And they're undefeated in the playoff rankings. Marshall, not even on it. Not even there. They got Ole Miss, 2 losses. UCLA, 2 losses. Georgia, 2 losses. Michigan State, 2 losses. Kansas State, 2 losses. Arizona State loss. Auburn's got 3 losses, all of them ranked higher than Marshall, who is undefeated. And I don't care where you're at. Undefeated is hard. I don't care what the opinion is of how tough their schedule is or how tough their conference is. Undefeated is hard. That's not easy to do. And Florida State's ranked 3rd? That's all based on opinion. There's nothing on the field.
Well, it's based off of opinion, and you got to remember, like they've done all baseball with it now, where they use sabermetrics and everything. So if you look it up, like there's a new stat that they use, where it's like game control, where it's like the amount of time like a team like maintains clock control and possessions and stuff. And like I think they said that Florida State ranks like 80 something in like clock management and game control. They've been down just as much as they've been up.
Yeah,
like they deserve to lose games that they somehow miraculously won, and they take that.
So how does that? So how does
I
that?
mean, like, I'm just saying, like, whenever they vote, if a team loses by 5 to a team, let's say number 4 loses to number 8 by 5, and it's close going into the fourth quarter, but then, like, an unranked Syracuse takes Florida State to double